It is time for the Superb Owl breakdown. NFL. Thought I was just a UFC guy. No, I do some NFL here and there. I do some props. I do a lot of fantasy. This year I made it to the fantasy playoffs, but I haven't had a lot of time to really follow the season. I watched some games here and there, not all day on Sundays. It used to be Sundays on the red zone, watching it all day and stuff. Now it's because I give up my Saturdays to UFC. I'll watch maybe like the evening games or something here and there. But nonetheless, it's the Super Bowl week this week. In 1 week's time, the game NFL championships would have been crowned by this time next week. So it's always a party, always a good time, get together, watch some football. So in order to prepare for that, I'm going to do some research. And again, I just felt like I turn on the camera, do some research at the same time. If you guys know your NFL, then by all means join in. And I'm just going to go through what I have, and you guys can tell me I'm way off. I generally tend to do like not bad during the season, not bad with props and stuff, but Super Bowls I tend to get wrong a lot, and I think that's maybe because I go more contrarian than others, or I just have some bad luck. Like, I was on the Seattle time. Last time they played New England, they picked at the end zone with Marshawn Lynch. I've been on the 28-3 Atlanta, losing that one sort of thing. All kinds of bad beats in terms of the Super Bowl. But we'll make some money. We'll find some props and stuff that we really like, and we'll go through everything. So, without further ado, let's share. Again, I'll share what I have. We'll go through everything, and then my breakdowns are kind of long. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll go through it, and then we'll see what we can find. Like, I do think that based, everything that we're seeing, that Seahawks are probably one of the stronger teams. Patriots, a lot of people talking about their strength of competition, the strength of schedule for the Seahawks, and sorry, for the Patriots. So I'll get it. So I'll see what the stats say. I do have a PFF subscription, so that's what we're looking at here. This is their summary of that. So again, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go look at the players, the matchups, some tendencies, and then I'll look up some betting lines and stuff. So get something in for the week, and then again the big game. My recommendation is just, if you are betting it, just remember it's just one game. Don't go all out, don't go crazy. You don't need to go broke. And, the sports books, especially with Super Bowl, they know that everybody's coming in. They're doing a lot of casual bettings and stuff. Everybody that wants to bet on something has some money on it. So a lot of the times, the overs on a lot of props are going to be juiced because the sports books aren't stupid. They'll juice them up a little bit. So if I do end up playing something, I try to look for some unders just to get some inherent value. And then generally, just with betting in general, the underdog's going to have some value because a lot of the public's going to be on the general favorite. But again, we'll take a look at the numbers, see what we actually come to a conclusion with, and then go from there, I guess. So overall, here in the team metrics, here they have PFF has Seattle ranked number one overall, New England number five, but the defense is New England has the better defense at two. Seahawks at three, which is not bad. Kind of surprising though, they have a Seahawks 11th ranked offense versus the sixth ranked offense for the Patriots. And then here's where it really shines: the strength of schedule. Second worst or best strength of schedule for the Patriots, and then the 11th hardest, I guess, for the Seahawks, right? And then I look at percent of run plays versus pass plays, right? So Seahawks a little bit more balanced, almost 50-50 run plays, pass plays. Some of that can be attributed to just being up in multiple games and then running all the second half. So take that with a grain of salt. But again, Patriots somewhat up as well, but they have the higher pass rate, and then we'll get into that. EPA per run, a little bit better for New England, and EPA per pass, I think, well, a little bit better for the other way. So, QB comparison, whoever thought Sam Darnold would be in the Super Bowl, second year Drake May. Their numbers look pretty comparable. Drake May actually grading out the better, higher quarterback here, higher passer rating when clean, higher passing rate under pressure. Big time throw percentage. Sam Darnold throws deeper more. Turnover worthy plays more, higher turnover plays. And then again, Patriots are ranked fifth in terms of the power rankings for QBs. Um, I'll go deeper into the schedule, but just looking back at it, right? So Seahawks have lost what, the three games they lost to the Rams, divisional rivals. They lost to the Colts, lost to Tennessee, and then lost to Tampa Bay, high-scoring affairs. So they seem to be putting up some good numbers other than Week 18, but I think they rested in Week 18, and then overall again. So yeah, we'll go through it. Zach Charbonnet was injured on the IR in terms of impactful players. Um, Kite is also the tackle, a little bit doubtful. I know on the Patriots they have a couple of injuries here. You know, they're even listing Drake May as questionable. I don't know. Well, I've heard that that's just like a precaution that he's fine. Robert Spillane is okay. Moses, I think I heard was okay, and Harold Landry, again, that's a big piece of their defensive line, should be okay as well. Um, but yeah, what I like to do is here, I'd like to go straight to the lineups here, and then I guess here we'll just starting with what we're given. So we're going to start with the Patriots on offense versus the Seattle on defense, right? And I always say that the games are normally won in the trenches, so right away I go to the offensive line for the Patriots, and then we'll see defensive line for Seattle and see if there's any big differences. So starting at left tackle for the Patriots, you have Will Campbell, rated out about average in pass blocking, a little bit higher than average in run blocking. Looks like he's played all season, so he's the definite starter at left tackle there. So yeah, about average overall, a little bit higher than average overall in terms of their grade. Next beside him at left guard, Jared Wilson. So below average run blocking on that left side, about average, below a little bit below average in pass blocking. Overall grade not the best overall there. And again, looks like he's played most of the season too. So experiencer at left guard. At center, Garrett Bradbury, ranked bottom 10 at qualified centers this year, 60.8. Decent pass blocking, but the run blocking isn't great. Bottom 5 in run block for Garrett Bradbury. So there's two guys at least there on the offensive line for interior runs. That you might struggle with here. We'll go over the defensive line there as well. So that, but at right guard, offensive grade, top 10. Right guard Mike Onwenu, top 4 in pass blocking, top 16 in run blocking. So overall pretty good, but decent protection there, I guess, on the right side. Again, has also played a lot of the snaps during the season. At right tackle, Morgan Moses, pretty good run blocking, decent pass blocking, a little bit slightly above average for pass blocking, offensive grade top quartile in offensive grade. So it looks like they have most of their offensive line healthy. A lot of these guys have played almost all of the season there, right? The real weakness is just on the interior line in terms of Wilson, in terms of run blocking, right? Bottom 10 in run blocking, Bradbury, bottom 5 in run blocking, right? So runs up the middle might be a little bit different by these guys, but it look like their tackle plays are decent in run blocking, 18th, and then Campbell was average there. Um, Looking at the defensive line, let's take a look at this and just see if New England will be able to run the ball here at all. Uchenna Nassau, coverage grade, yeah, that's okay. Overall, bottom, yeah, below average grade on the edge. Um, about average in run defense. Pass grade about average there as well. What I like to do is I just like to look at where they're playing. So I know he's playing the edge here. If you go over to search here, I'd look up his snaps by position, detailed snacks. So he's playing on the D line throughout the season. Where are the season numbers? This one goes over. So he's playing, yeah, he mixes it up. So it looks like he's playing outside, right outside linebacker and then left outside linebacker, almost 50-50. So they rotate him on the edge, both sides of the field. He doesn't stay on one side of the line. So good to know. On the interior, Byron Murphy, below average run defense, above average pass rush grade. So decent with pass rushing, but his run defense isn't that great. He's in the interior. On the other side, Leonard Williams. So good run defense in the middle. Good pass rush grade. Third in coverage, but he's a defensive end. Has played all season, above average. So top 10 defensive interior there for the Seahawks. And then on the edge, DeMarcus Lawrence on the other side, top 2 in run defense. Good coverage grade. Their pass rush isn't that great, but seems to be a good run defense. And again, because the other edge switches, I assume that he also switches. What? No players. Typed it out exactly how it was. Demarcus Lawrence, the edge. Snaps, detailed. Plays on the D line, right? Left edge, right edge. So mostly plays left edge, but does play right edge as well. Some outside linebacker as well. But most of the time, 60% of the time, especially conference championship, he split more splits there. Not a lot of snaps in week 18 in divisional. I don't know why. Uh, but yeah, seems to be a decent run blocker on that side, right? So alrighty, so just based on the offensive line, right? You're seeing some weaknesses here in the interior. Seems to be some pretty strong interior linemen in terms of Byron Murphy. He's probably the weakest link on the defensive line for run blocking, but he seems to be covered up here with Leonard Williams in that nose tackle position there as well. So up the middle, they might struggle up the middle in terms of runs. On the outside, yeah, they might have some success running outside the tackles. Um, and then so what I do, Ramondre Stevenson again. Uh, who's there? You can go Ramondre Stevenson. You can go rushing, and I can go actually rushing direction. So where he normally runs, so he runs on the outside, 27 attempts, mostly in the middle though, right? 34 right guard, 27 middle right, 30. So most of the time when he runs, running up the middle. Who's their other back? What's his name? Travion Henderson. I wanted to see. I haven't been following them too closely, but Travion Henderson, rushing direction. So when he rushes, yeah, he's more of the edge rusher. See, you can see most of his runs here coming from the left edge. The second highest is going to the right edge, so he's more of the outside runner for them. And then in the middle there, even in the middle is kind of low. It's like the lowest for rushing direction is Henderson. So when it goes up the middle, it looks like it's Ramondre. When it goes to the edges, it looks like Travion. He might be the little faster guy here. Um, Something to consider, I guess. Going back here to the lineup. All right, so we established that there's some holes here in the front interior runs, and that would be Ramondre Stevenson running up the middle. And then Travion Henderson running up the upside. So right away, I'm thinking maybe Stevenson under rushing, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let me just bring it up. So I'm just going to track all of the things that we're talking about, and then maybe I'll look into it a little bit more. But that's just gut reaction. I'll look more into it, especially because you get some game script upside in case Seattle's like blowing them out of the water that maybe he doesn't run as much. So where are these? This is what your DraftKings, how you know you're getting screwed. When you come to the lines and you put up rushing and you only see these like one-way lines, I can't bet unders here. You know something's going on here. So rush yards over under. There it is there. Kind of Walker, Ramondre Stevenson. So I'm just gonna put that in the bet slip. We'll take an eye on to keep an eye on it. What is here? So they have Ramondre Stevenson under 49.5, and just looking at here, they have Travion Henderson at 18.5. Is he not getting runs? First, let me take a look at script. He only played 6% of the snaps in conference championship, 38 before then. His snap count has been decreasing. I don't know if you can see that here. Travion Henderson's snap count's decreasing from week 19. I don't know if it was just the type of game, because I think this was a bad weather game. Um, Game logs. Ramondre Stevenson getting 25 touches. That's bad weather. 16, 10. 732. He broke off a long run. But in terms of touches here, he's going 16, 10, 7, 8, 8, 6. Like there's not a ton of touches. So yeah, okay, that last weather game, but you can throw this one. This was a blizzard. This week 21, he had 25 touches for 71 yards. Before that, 16 touches for 70 yards, right? So that's a decent pace or whatnot. And then Travion Henderson, yeah, he was getting 12 touches there, just wasn't doing as well. Here, he didn't get as many touches. Yeah, okay. Something to consider. I'll look into it a little bit more, but Ramondre Stevenson up the middle, maybe kind of low. Okay, so outside of the offensive line, in terms of the pass rush, um, average pass rush there, above average in the interior, top 13 in the interior, and then they can generate some pressure up the middle. Wilson pass rushing is about average. Bradbury pass rushing, pass block is not bad, so maybe he can stop some of it. Um, Decent pack. So the interior decent in terms of their offensive line, in terms of protection. Um, yeah. Let's move over to the cornerbacks and receiver matchup here. So we'll start on the left side, right? So Devon Witherspoon is actually graded the number one corner in the league. So that's interesting. Number two in pass rush, number two in coverage, number one in run defense. Um, Pretty good numbers. If I go here to premium stats, oh, I didn't come up. Devon Witherspoon defense by week. Conference championship, we rated out 61% coverage. Overall defense against San Fran, he did well. But yeah, he's 4 of the last 5 games below average. He had a good start to the season. I guess he was injured there a couple of weeks. Where are we here with numbers? Conference champion again. This was Seattle. He gave up 5 receptions for 136 yards, 27.2 yards per reception. Gave up some yak as well. Um, Here he didn't do too bad, but still 4 of 6 catches, 4 of 4 catches, yeah. He hasn't paid the greatest in recent games. He can be thrown at, yeah, passer ratings of above 100 here. Um, Passer rating allowed. But again, at a high level, he's the number one corner. Actually, let me go here. I'd like to look at where they play. So Witherspoon, he does mix up the slot. So he'll go into the slot, he'll play wide, he'll play left, he'll play right. So they do move him around. I wonder if he shadows the top corners or the top receivers. In the slot, Nick Muriani, top 17 in coverage, top 20, pretty good slot corner. And then on the outside, Josh Jobs, that's their weakest coverage guy. Below average defense grade, decent pass rusher, I guess. Might use him in some blitz packages. Decent run grade, but his coverage grade is the problem there. And again, let's see where he lines up. If Witherspoon moves around, this guy must also move around. Yeah, he's equal. In terms of wide, left, right, you can see almost equal distribution. My picture's there, but equal distribution between left and right. So it looks like both corners move around a lot. And again, that might be based on the matchups. Curious to see. Let's move over to the receivers. Let me just see. Keyshawn Booty, about average, a little bit higher than average. He's been playing all season. I think he's picked up more recently in terms of getting better. Let me see him. Booty, come on. Keyshawn Booty. Okay, first we look at snaps where he lines up. So they move him around the formation a lot as well. Mostly playing left wide receiver. So 2-to-1, most like 60% of the time, 65% of the time, he's going to be playing left Wide receiver, 30% maybe at right. They move him into the slot maybe like 2 or 3 snaps per game, but mostly he's the outside receiver. So he might get matched up against Witherspoon, or it might be Mac Hollins here. So Hollins on the other side, a little bit above average in terms of receiving grade. Actually, let's just go back to Booty. Let me just see his actual offense here. Offense, snap counts. I need to see receiving. Actually, first let's go to receiving depth. So the Booty, you look down at here at the graph. Pretty good rates. Passer rating above, like when they look at him deep. He's 5 of 8. He's catching 5 of 8 passes deep in the middle, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns, 145 passer rating when targeted deep, 5 of 9 outside left, 2 of 3 outside right. Look at these passer ratings. They're like 150, perfect passer rating here for deep. So maybe he is the deep threat. Especially he looks to be doing pretty good deep, and then even intermediate there, 6 of 10, 3 of 5, some good catches there, deep. So, um, and then in the underneath routes, he's still above average underneath here as well. So, 5 of 7, 5 of 7, good passer rating. Only um, left is a little bit weird. But yeah, look at his receiving numbers, right? All really, real above average for deep threats there. Um, just while I think again, I'm gonna think and go, but touchdown scores, we might go Booty for any time and for first, just because he's a deep threat. Maybe they pull him out and try something deep or something like that, but we'll look more into that. Um, where's the actual receiving one? Offensively, receiving, here's your score. So last conference championship, he went 1 of 6, but again, bad weather game there, so throw that one out. Against Houston, went 3 of 5 for 75 yards and a touchdown. Pretty good defense. Chargers went 4 of 4 for 66. And yards per reception, he's at like 17. So he has a decent yards per reception. Um, where's his yak? Yak, he's not getting a lot of yak here, 2.2 yards. 1.53 yards per route run, and yeah, you can see his average depth of target at 17. So he is somewhat of a deeper threat, I guess, catching some longer passes. And I guess Diggs is the underneath guy, right? Okay, and then again, we said he moves around a lot. On the other side here, we got Mac Hollins. Let me see what they say about Hollins and how he's been playing. Mac Hollins. First, we take a look at where he plays. So he'll go into the slot there as well, and then he'll mix them up left and right. So he gets moved around the formation almost equally, but he will go into the slot here and there as well. Overall receiving for him, not as many targets, but 2 of 2 against Denver. The fuck? This is this? All right. Average depth of target yard per route run 12.5, right? A little bit lower. His average depth of target 13.5. Any long runs? What's going on here? 2 touchdowns on the season, right? So he's not a big touchdown guy. Coming in week 4 against Carolina, week 2 against Miami, hasn't had a touchdown since. Um, Decent catch rate, right? When he gets targeted, I guess 9 of 7, 4. He's not really a big play guy. Route slot percentage they talk about wide in line. A dot drop percentage drops pretty good. As long as, yeah, 31, 20, 18, 11. Decent passer rating against. Okay, so and lastly, I want to go to Diggs. What does he look like in the slot? Graded number 10 receiver in the NFL, 11th overall. Pretty good grades, all career-wise. Played all season there as well. So, Stephon Diggs, snap percentage, where does he go? So yeah, he mixes up. I guess he's mainly the slot guy, but they will mix him up between slot and outside guy as well. And then when he is outside, he'll mix up the left and right, but it looks like he leans a little bit to the right, so he's playing more right outside receiver when he does go. Otherwise, he's in slot, and then obviously in slot it doesn't really matter left or right, but mostly slot guy. Receiving. So yeah, he's the target guy. Receptions, 6 of 5 for 6 against Denver, 4 of 5, 83% catch rate, yards. Yeah, so his yards per reception, 11. Um, whereas his A dot 8.3. So yeah, there's a big difference between his A dot 8.3 and the other guy, the deeper threat, Booty. So yeah, Diggs is going to take all the underneath stuff. Booty's going to go long, and then Holland's kind of like I guess a distraction. If you were if you're New England here, like again, we talked about Witherspoon. He plays the outside, but he does go into the slot here. I'm curious to see if they match him up with Diggs or if they leave Emmanuel Worry. Actually, let me take this back. Where does he actually line up? If Emmanuel Worry is almost always in the slot. Look around, detail positions. Yeah, he's almost exclusively the slot corner. So when Diggs is in the slot, he's going to be up against Amariori, and when he's outside, he probably matches up with Witherspoon there. What does his defense look like? Mariori, snap counts, pressure, tackled, rush. Let's see it here. Targets. So he went 2 of 5. He allowed 2 of 5. Again, throw that one out. In divisional, he allowed 4 of 5, 7 of 7, 2 of 2, 5 of 5. So decent catch rates recently allowed. Um, 4 of 2, 2 of 3, 6 of 7. Like they're high 90 catch rates, but again, he's slot corner. Um, Plays the slot mostly. Yeah, receiving percentage allowed up to 75%. Yards per reception allowed 8.7%. He's allowed 2 takedowns, or sorry, takedowns, doing UFC, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 94.5 passer rating against. So um, maybe like we're looking at Diggs receptions over because again he's allowing 75% catch rate. He's allowing some decent percentage or completions, right? 100%, 100%, 80%. As long as Diggs gets the target, but it might be a little bit set kind of high. But let's take a look into it. Receiving props, receptions, because he's not getting much yards after the catch and he's not getting much distance. But at 5. I hate how you gotta go receptions and then there's this fucking another menu. Most receptions. Receiving yards over under, receptions over under. Yeah, so Diggs is at 4.5. That's not a horrible look. I've put in because first square booty's there, but you're getting 121 on this same game parlay here that's on the screen. Okay. So decent coverage, decent run defense. Witherspoon. Okay, so I guess we'll go to Hunter Henry last here and just take a look at Hunter Henry in terms of his receiving. Top 12 receiver. How is the linebackers here? 18, top 18. They're strong safety in Julian Love, number 1 in coverage. And their strong safety, Kobe Bryant there. Let me find it. Players, uh, positions versus defense. Looking up fantasy football, then we're going to go to tight ends. We're going to go Seahawks versus tight ends. One, two, three, 5, 10. Yeah, they're about number 12 most fantasy points allowed to tight ends. Uh, top 6 allowed to receptions allowed. Top 10 against averages. Let me see who they've placed or who's they've. Because they played 49ers 3 times, I think. Uh, so Higby goes 3 of 12. Oh, that's Jake Tongas goes 5 for 6. George Kittle goes 5 for 7. Ferguson, Tyler Warren, 3 of 9. Kyle Pitts goes for 90 yards. TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, it's because their secondary is good. I was just wondering how their defense is against tight ends, but it seems to be decent with their strong safety, the best um, in the league in terms of Julian Love here, in terms of coverage, and then their linebackers also have some decent coverage, top 20. So even their tight end defense is pretty good. I think there is a tool here. Let me just see if there's another one here. Uh, Scores and schedules, fantasy premiums. I think it's under matchups. Okay, so yeah, okay. Can you see here? Hunter Henry is 12th out of 40 tight ends against linebackers. They're bottom 6 against linebackers. Seattle is linebacker coverage. Cornerback coverage 21 out of 32. Safety coverage 21 out of 32 as well. So there might be something here with Hunter Henry in terms of their coverage. Depends on who's on them. So let's take that back and take a look, I guess. But on offense, though, again, we've only stick to the offensive side. Let me just go Drake May actually while we have him up. Most important piece apart of the offense here. So we're gonna go Drake May. We're gonna see some stuff, and then we'll get a good idea of the actual offense and what they might want to do here. First, I do passing depth. Where does he actually make his throws, right? So, um, 11 of 28, 11 of 21. 16 of 28. So yeah, pretty good passer rating deep, right? So 122 passer rating deep right, 126 deep left. So maybe those deep shots are there. Um, Decent outside left here as well. 153 passer rating, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 24 of 33. So that's where his, I guess, his favorite target to go, right? He has 24, deep middle, I guess. Deep middle 42, and then right side 18. So he likes to go left. A lot of underneath stuff. So right in the middle, 115 to 140. 6 touchdowns, 1 interception in the middle of the field here. So a lot of stuff in the middle. Behind the line, he'll go 13, 11, 14. Yeah. So definitely outside right there. Okay, so now we're going to go to passing pressure, passing concept. Let's go passing concept. So percent of dropbacks, he's doing play action 24% of the time. He's doing no play action about 75% of the time. When he's doing off of play action, he's actually rating pretty good at 90.5, 88.1. He has 11 touchdowns, 1 interception on play action, 75% completion rate, 9.8 yards per attempt. Big time throw, only 3.4%. Smaller ADOT though, so anything over here? Time to throw. I think I saw some stat about like Drake May has like one of the highest time to throws in the league, or almost all in terms of graded, right? So you have to get pressure on him. Three seconds is a lot for time to throw. I don't know if you can see it on screen, but he has a 3.08 time to throw. Screen passes, no screen passes. So drop back, he is doing 6% screen rate. So not a lot of screens to running backs, I guess. 34 touchdowns, and that's just passing contests. Okay, let's go into pass pressure. So I can't move it down here, but when he's kept clean on 63% of dropbacks. Pretty good rating, 92.8 overall rating, 91.1 passer, 28 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, completion rate close to 75. So when he's kept clean, he looks pretty good. And then when he's not, when he's under pressure here, there's a big drop off here, right? So he's under pressure about 37%. Completion rate only 58%, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You can see his offensive grade drops to 59, so 40 points lower in terms of offense and passing. Big fumble problem as well. But then he goes deep when he's under pressure, I guess. Um, Time to throw is the highest at 3.76. Under pressure, that's even worse. And then yeah, he's taking sacks. This is sack yards, I think. Giving up some negative plays to sacks and stuff. So when he's not blitzed, he's okay. And then against the blitz, yeah, he has a 14 touchdown, 1 interception against the blitz, or when he's blitzed. He has some decent running as well. So it's, I guess, generating pressure up the middle without blitzing. 15 turnover plays. So I guess again, his numbers don't look bad, but everybody talks about who he's actually played. Um, how much is he actually running? Let me see. So he has some decent number of attempts. Again, last one there. Um, Against Denver, 10 runs. That was in snow though. 10 runs for 65 yards and a touchdown. He does have 5 touchdowns on the year, so that's interesting. You get some QB sneaks in there as well. Divisional line round, he only rushed 4 times. Against the Charger, he rushed 10 times for 66 yards. Miami, he rushed 5 times for 41 yards. So yeah, it's up there. I got to see if how the Seahawks do against the run, but he has a couple of games where he is like he's running at least 10 times, 8 times, especially if the pressure's there. We talked about how good his running is under pressure when he gets blitzed, so maybe he can run away from them. Um, what do you think the rushing line is for Drake May? 25, somewhere in that range? 20 rushing attempts. First, we'll start with rushing yards over under. Drake May 37. That's too high. 37. Sounds kind of high. Rushing attempts. Drake May at 8. Oh, okay. You might get away with attempts. 7 plus is minus 141. 6.5 rush attempts. So yeah, 7 rush attempts minus 141. Can take a look at that, I guess. Because he has a couple of games of 10. Again, bad weather, but 10 against Chargers, 10 against Baltimore, and then 3 against the Jets, 5 against Miami. I'd have to take a look at those games here, but he does have some good running, and again, it's pressure up the middle. He did the most last game, but then again, weather, but decent run game. Okay. Um, Zone. This is run type. Oh, this is run type. We're still in rushing. Rushing, passing, receiving depth. I think that's okay. Offensive grade charts. Weekly grades. So in the last couple of games, he's been kind of shit there in the playoffs, right? So 64.4 against the Chargers. Houston, he had his worst game of the season at 49.1, and then second worst game against Denver at 53.2. So those were the best defenses that he's played, and he had the worst game. So not surprising that he met them in the playoffs, right? And a lot of easier schedule here. Not a, even against Pittsburgh, he had a bad game. Against Atlanta, a bad game. When he plays some easier teams, Jets and Dolphins, he has great games, but then we have to step up. Looks like he's having poor games. So I would expect Seattle to be in this range here. Maybe not as, because Denver, maybe in the 60 range. probably lower than the Chargers, somewhere in that range. So, in terms of how he's done. Um, all right, let's go back. So, in terms of passing, in terms of his offense here, you guys have any thoughts on how he's going to move the ball, right? We talked about Booty being the deep threat, so he might go to Booty a couple of times deep. But he has to get past the strong safety, so maybe that's why it's on that left side, because Julian Love's probably pretty good here. He'd have to beat Kobe Bryant. Coverage grade, yeah, about average there. Talked about running up the middle. Ramondre Stevenson's going to have some difficulty running up the middle. If they can generate pressure up the middle here as well. And we saw how much difference Drake May is against the pressure, four-man pressure versus the blitz. If you blitz, he can run a little bit more. And actually, where is it here? Secondary, is this 2026? Yeah. Coverage schemes, right? We're looking at the Seahawks. Yeah, Seahawks play a lot of zone. Seahawks middle open rate, middle close rate. What is this? So man rate. So yeah, they're 15% man, 80% zone, and then split between open and close. I don't really know what this is. So that's interesting, right? We talked about the running lanes and the running for Jake May. Kind of think now that I'm looking at it, maybe we take him under on the rushing. I gotta see. Okay, I'm gonna put it up. Drake May over attempts. That might not be a bad one, eh? Over attempts, but under his yards. Because I did think that was a little bit high. Because they play so much zone, they're always looking up front, right? They watch the running back where he goes. They watch the quarterback where it goes. It's kind of harder to run against zone because the corners are watching you. And even here, like when we looked at the matchups for the cornerbacks, Witherspoon has the number one run defense grade, so he's blocking out on the runs to the edges. Nick Murray 30th of 91, and Joby actually has some good run defense as well. So you're getting cornerback helps from the outside. We talked about not being able to generate pressure up the middle. So where is Drake May going to run? It has to be like more scrambles than anything, right? So maybe we take an under on Drake May rushing yards. There's obviously worry in 2 minute drill or like the last, when they're playing prevent that it's a lot open, but again, the zone limits the big rushes, right? So if it wasn't much and they went man, everybody turns their back, everybody's gone, then they can find bigger lanes to run, but when it's zone, it's a little bit harder. Okay, so Booty's deep threat probably going to be guarded by Witherspoon on the outside. Diggs is going to be up against Amari in the slot. When Diggs goes outside, maybe there's a chance that Witherspoon goes with him, and then Booty's up against Job. There might be Hollins might be the weakest link here in terms of like the guy that's left, right? Yeah, they're going to go to Diggs, I think, in the middle. Maybe that's what that open rate is, right? What's the Seattle open rate? Middle open rate, 52%. That seems high. What is the highest that they have? 64. Okay, so the Seahawks have the fifth highest middle open rate. I don't really know what it is, but it sounds like the middle's open. So yeah, this could be Diggs all in the middle here, lots of catches and stuff. That reception one for Diggs is not bad. Again, he's gonna have receptions, but not a lot of yards after the catch, not a lot of big plays. So I wonder what Diggs over receptions under yards would be, like one of those contrarian ones, right? So let me put that in as well. Receptions over for Diggs, receiving yards unders. Oh, he's only at 44. I can't play that. That's too small. Okay, so yeah, it might be Hollins. It might have to be Henry. Runs up the middle aren't going to work, so it's going to be rushing on the outside we talked about. That's Travion Henderson running on the outside. If they're playing zone, a little bit harder to get reception off of running backs. Let me just look at targets here for running backs. Even if the running back targets here, Ramondre Stevenson getting a lot of the touches here as well. 2-4. He's always out touching or out targeting Travion Henderson. Overall, Henderson started hot, right? He was the guy earlier on in the season, but more recently it looks like it's all Stevenson. I don't know if it was a fumbling thing or what happened there. Um, for the running back or for the receivers, Diggs obviously leads the team in receptions or targets. His team targets 665. And what did we say his reception was at? 4.5? 4.5. So he has to get to 5 receptions. These are targets 6, 6, 5, 3, 6, 10. He has one of 10. So maybe he's not getting all of the targets. Booty's getting a couple more. Hunter Henry's getting a decent amount too. Snap count, I just want to look at the offensive snap count. We talked about the running backs. Booty's playing 63, 83, 50, yeah, mid 50s. Diggs is playing 50% of snaps too. 47, 55, 63. You would expect more. Kyle Williams, Demario Douglas. Hunter Henry's playing 69. Yeah, he's playing majority of the snaps. I wonder if he has to stay in for blocking though. And then defensive way. Okay. Also wondering what tackles from their Amariori tackles. What's his tackle line at? Passing props. Super Bowl. Defensive team props. Tackles and assists. Nick Amariori. Fuck, is that 7? You go tackles and you have to go down lower for tackles over under. Nick Amariori 6.5. Sounds kind of high for not the linebacker. Yeah, because he's not. I don't know how. I should have looked up NFL personnel frequency. See if this does anything here. This is a good to show you. New England Patriots 24 personnel 11. Is there more down here? What the fuck? So they're 11 personnel 48% of the time, 49% of the time. So that's one receiver, one running back, one tight end, and then 3 receivers. So 50% of the time, I think Diggs is on the field, I guess. League average usage. League average is 56, so they're below average in 11 personnel. EPA rank, personnel plays. EPA rank. Oh, I fucking fucked it up. How's this? What is this? 22 EPA rank has 1. Oh, here it is. What is this? EPA. They have the number 1 EPA rank at 11 personnel in 2025. Passer rate. I don't know how to read this, but they're number 1 at something. So I guess they play good out of 11. I just wanted to see how often they would have because we talked about how this guy plays slot, right? He's the slot corner and he only plays slot. So if they go 2 wide receivers, he's off the field. So sometimes I like to do that to take the slot corner under, depending on the frequency of how long they play. They're outside. Just tackles is 4.5 without the assist if you rather that. Yeah, I did some looking at it before in terms of tackles versus assists versus tackles plus assists. I couldn't figure it out, so I think I was just doing tackles and assists, especially with these good defenses. Like, as long as he gets there, and he's not going to be always the first guy there, so he can rack up some assists, but I don't know how to differentiate tackles and assists versus tackles yet. But yeah, looks like he's Drake May's gonna have some trouble moving the ball. He's not gonna be able to like throw the ball all over the field. Seattle's a pretty good defense. Looks like they're gonna have some struggles running up the middle, which might put them into longer down and distances, right? They might because he's holding on to the ball for so long, a lot of higher than league average that he might take a little bit of sacks or sacks for big yardage, and then when it's like second and 14 or like third and 9 and stuff, it might be a sack as well, and it's going to be hard for him to keep those up. So they might struggle a little bit here on offense for New England. I don't see like a huge advantage anywhere on offense other than you're looking at maybe the wide receiver three, which is maybe Matt Collins, depending on like how they move them around. But their safeties are good. Their defensive line is pretty good. Where they're weak, New England's weak there as well. Diggs is maybe the biggest mismatch, but it's not really a mismatch. Mariori is pretty good there as well. And Diggs underneath, he's not going to have that big play potential here, right? So it could be Booty. He could like, you might have to take a shot, especially on long or deeper into the game. Maybe some alt lines on Booty just because he might rack up a long one or break one off or sort of thing, right? So keep that in mind. But anything else to add on the New England side in terms of how they move the ball? It doesn't look like they're gonna have too much success over and over. It might be like take what you can get 3 yards here, 4 yards there. Might be a lot of like dink and dunk, other than the couple of shots late. But yeah, it doesn't look like a ton of success. So it kind of screams under to me. Um, but we'll see. Moving on. We're 50 minutes into the stream and we only tackled one side of the ball. All right, so we're going to start with Seattle. Again, we're starting in the trenches. Looks like their interior of the line, same thing with New England, kind of shady there on the interior. Looks to be to some decent tackles, but let's take a look here. Charles Cross, top 11 pass blocking, average run blocking. Played all season there at left tackle, so seems to be okay. Interior here, run blocking, pass blocking, probably a little bit below average for both. For Gray Zabel. At center, another one about average, 19 of 37, so right around average. 23 of 29, but average there for Jalen Sundell. Again, looks to have played most of the snaps this season, so seems to be okay. Right guard, below average, pass blocking, bottom 3 in the league for pass blocking, below average in run blocking, so they're not going to generate a lot of pressure here, or the offensive line up the middle, kind of a liability there. And then run blocking is decent on the tackles. Pass blocking a little bit above average for pass blocking for Abraham Lucas at right tackle, and pretty good run blocking. So looks like you're going to have to run to the edges here. If you're going to run up the middle, you might have some problems in terms of run blocking. Yeah, average, below average, up the middle here. So on the edge, Harold Landry, again, he was on IAR, or he was injured, so he didn't have a lot of snaps that last game, but he looks to be getting better. Fourth in coverage grade, below average pass rush grade, about average run defense on the edge. I'm curious to see in the interior here. So Milton Williams, pass rush grade is not bad at 16, so decent top 16 pass rush in the middle. His run blocking is not the best. Christian Barmore, run defense is below average, bottom 5 in run defense. Pass rush grade 37%. So, and on the edge, Clavion Chasson, run defense is pretty low on the edge on run defense, bottom 6 in run defense. And then average in pass rush grade. So yeah, New England's defensive line isn't the strongest. Like you would like to have some good defensive interior pressure to take advantage of this line here. It looks like again, yeah, Lucas top 16 in run blocking against this bottom 5 in run defense, right? There you're going to have some success running here to the right. Um, Even some success up the middle. Like yeah, this is below average run defense in the middle. Bottom five below average here. So this whole right side, running to the right here is going to be open here. Again, it's going to be Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet is injured. Let me see where Walker runs. Kenneth Walker, rushing direction. He goes left end most of the time. He goes right end second most of the time, so he's more of an edge rusher. And then in the middle, he doesn't have a ton of middle runs. So yeah, they're running through the tackles. They don't run through the middle too often. They run through the edges. It could be better for some corner tackles here, right? Because they're running edges, but the corners have to beat their blocks to help. But number one graded halfback in the league this year. Number one graded running back. So Charbonnet is a big weapon, but looks to be okay with Kenneth Walker. Let me see what the splits were anyway. Charbonnet wasn't really playing too much, so he didn't play last game. He only played 15% the game before that. And then for a little bit, they were splitting carries there, 57% for Charbonnet, 53, 56, 55. So how many games did Kenneth Walker have? So this is interesting here, right? So you look at the two games without Charbonnet, right? Week 3 and week 21. Rather than Kenneth Walker numbers going up, right? He stayed at 62%, 63%. He stayed at, 35, 53. He got a little bit more touches, 50%. They gave it to this George Haloni. He had 35 snaps that one and 34. The two biggest weeks for him in terms of snap count, 35% of the snaps. Did he get any touches there? George Haloni had 10 rushes for 27, and then I missed it here. 3 touches last week, but he had 3 receptions as well, so he can catch the ball. 2 receptions there. Any lines on George Haloni? Let me see what we find. Anybody find anything on George Haloni? We're either rushing or receiving. Andrew says run game for Seattle might be weird since Charbonnet towards ACL. Yeah. That's why either all goes to Ken Walker, which I think they're juicing up the line a little bit. But again, Walker can break one off. Rushing yards, rushing over attempts here. Ken Walker 71. He's averaging 63 this year, so they're boosting it up a couple of yards, getting it to 71. No other line here for him. Anybody find me that line or see if he's still around? We're looking at Seattle. We're looking at the backup running back. Uh, where am I missing? Right defensive edge. Oh, these are defense. This is. No, it's not. Depth chart. Oh, I don't know why it wasn't there. Running back. Yeah, George Haloni. Anybody have a line on Haloni? Anything? Anything Haloni? Oh, can you search by players? Not on this one. What about touchdowns? Is that the only line here? George Haloni. George Haloni anytime. Plus 475. This last, 2 touchdowns. Is there a last? 10.5 rushing yards, that's it? On what book has that? DraftKings, I don't see it, but that's a sneaky one. Kind of think that, yeah, maybe. I got it on DK mobile. I'm in rushing, but combined rushing yards, combined rushing, no, either player, rushing attempts, rush yards over under. Oh, here he is. Oh, okay, there it is. 10 and a half. You take a look at his average. His average is going to be skewed because he doesn't play most of the games, but 10.5. 10.5. He had 10 rushes the first game or week 3 against New England, and then that last one he only had 3 rushes, but uh, Holoney. Holon. Fuck, I messed it up already. Fuck, do you spell his name? Holan. Holan. Rushing yards. He runs to the edges there as well. He's an edge runner, just like Ken Walker. 2.2 when he runs to the edge, though he's not getting that many yards on the edges. Rushing yard per attempt, he's only getting 3.1 yards per attempt, so he's going to have to get 4 attempts to get over 10. Yeah, that was week 3. He got 10 attempts, 27, 10 attempts here. They might, I mean, it can't be a bad play. You get all of the upside, right? Like they're used to Charbonnet coming in as like the change of pace guy, like the backup, like you can't run Ken Walker every single play of every single game, right? Like right, Ken Walker he's never had a game other than that last game was 63% of snaps was his highest game all season. Before that was 62. Outside of those 62, 63, he's hovering around 42, 47, 42, 40, 52, 55. Like he's hovering around like 50% snap rate. And so now you're thinking without Charbonnet in, like Haloni has to get some touches. You can't throw Ken Walker in there and just say, okay, you're going to be on for 100% of the time. Haloni's probably going to be on the field at least 30% of snaps. And then you give him a couple of runs there. Right? I'm going to take that. Any other books have it before I take it on DraftKings? I got to get my DraftKings phone. Uh, Andrew's the only one with me there. So thanks, Andrew, for hanging out, man. You like this type of stuff? I'm going through it. Better if I just talk it out loud and see if we can find anything. So I doubt FanDuel has anything. Yeah, thanks, buddy. How's this breakdown? Yeah, I don't. When's the last time you heard somebody talk for an hour on one game? Russian props. Rushing yards. George Hamlin, 10.5 on FanDuel. Okay. I'm going to play it. And then, no, longest rush. 5.5 rush. Alternate rushing yards. Oh, they do have some outlines here. Ooh. Here we go. So we got 10 plus. So 11 plus minus 110. You can go 15 plus 142. 20 plus is plus 230 and 25. You can go all the way up to a fucking 100, right? 60 plus yards. There's no way he gets 60, right? But what if he breaks one off? 30 plus. It might be a good ladder here. So you could ladder his rushing yards, right? So up to 30 yards. He only needs 30 yards for plus 520. And everybody's saying, well, he never gets it. Well, it's a completely different game, right? And all he needs to do is break one off. And we talked about how the Patriots' run defense on this side is not great, right? It's on the bottom 6 in run defense. Barmore, bottom 6 in run defense, bottom 5 in run defense. You got two bottom 6 and bottom 5 on this left edge. And you got Lucas here, Abraham Lucas, the top 16 in run blocking. Yeah, any running back can break one off, especially on an interior line. And you get Seattle's everybody's predicting them to just blow them out, right? And win and all that stuff. So all the second half, you might get this guy come in just for change of pace, just to why would you keep Walker in there? You're gonna get all runs in the second half. I think we have to play that over. And yeah, even the Milton Williams, his run defense is below average. So this whole right side of the line, the whole line in general. The best guy here is Harold Landry. He's injured and he's still only average, and he's the best guy on the defensive line in terms of run blocking. So Walker Walker could get because he plays all game, he might get all the goal line stuff. Walker for like MVP, what's that line? That doesn't surprise me. Like if he got two touchdowns, right? It's so easy to run on these guys in the middle. I'm just wondering, um, running backs against the Patriots. So they've given up 8 touchdowns. Broncos got 2.89, but that was in bad weather. Texans only got 1.72, but that's Nick Chubb. Chargers don't have an offensive line. They got 2.5. Dolphins got 1.4, right? So those guys aren't really a good sample set. Dolphins, Chargers, Texans in terms of running backs, they all were sub 3 yards per attempt. But the Jets went at 6.3 per attempt. The Ravens went at 5.2 per attempt. Bills went 4.8 per attempt. And remember, Ken Walker's supposed to be the best running back in the NFL and stuff, right? They also keep Walker's miles low as well since he got hurt last year a couple of years ago. That's why Char was splitting carries as the worst back. Yeah, I can't see them just giving him every fucking touch, right? I think we might be onto something here. Derrick Henry goes 7 yards a carry. Cook goes 4.8 yards a carry. Singletary 5.7. Yeah. Like, would it surprise you if Seattle just ran the ball all game? Like, would New England be able to stop them if they did? Like, in that second half, especially, right? If Seattle's up and now they run, 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 I don't know if New England can stop the run. They might get 4 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry, and especially with Ken Walker, like how he's been doing, right? They might run the ball all second half, kill the clock. Um, Thinking second half unders. Thinking over on his yards, right? So I guess we'll look into it more. Okay, so we're stuck on the running back. There's a good play here for Seattle running backs. I think they have some success here. Ken Walker's good, right? Even out of the backfield, he might score 2 touchdowns here. Everybody's focused on JSN and saying JSN's amazing, Cooper Kupp's amazing and stuff, but the secondary is pretty good for New England, right? So everybody's going to talk about number 2 rated receiver overall in the NFL, 93.7. His run grade's not the best, but he's not a runner. Um, let's take a look at where he plays. Actually, I can just go here. Why did I do that? Here, here. All right, so JSN's number 2 of the receivers. Christian Gonzalez, 24, 109, so decently, above average. Um, Here against Marcus Jones, top 20, pretty good there as well. And then Carlton Davis, top 38. So all 3 of their cornerbacks are above average in coverage grade. Obviously, JSN is good. He can beat receivers, all that stuff, but it's a hard defense to run on, right? And Cooper Kupp, let's look at Cooper Kupp. Uh, Cooper Kupp's 37th. He's getting a little bit older, right? That's why he got traded. But again, up against these cornerbacks, it doesn't look like they're saying that he's going to have much success here against Marcus Jones, Carlton Davis, Christian Gonzalez. And the same thing with Raheem Shaheed, even worse here matchups, right? 62nd of 125. But again, good receivers on all 3 levels for the Patriots. Um, Run defense coverage grade is pretty good, right? 28th. Rashid's the big play guy. Yeah. Rashid Shaheed, run grade, pass grade. He's the deep threat. Yeah, let's go here. Same thing we did with the other side. Rashid Shaheed, we're doing passing, receiving depth. So he's got 1 of 6 on the left side, 14.6 NFL rating, 1 of 5. He's only caught one touchdown here, one catch for a touchdown, I guess, on the right side. Middle, he never goes deep middle. Um, 4 of 5 for Shaheed. I like Booty's numbers better. Booty has a lot better deep threat potential. Um, 72, yeah, he's poor outside rating here on the outside. 3 of 6, 47 yards, 36% passer rating. Kick returner as well, but they'll probably kick away from him. Yeah, they'll probably just kick it into the end zone maybe. Rashid was also on the Saints. Yeah, that's right. Maybe they'll dial up something. Yeah, he just doesn't have the volume here, but what is his okay, let's go over to snap count for Seattle, right? Cheat sheet started at 34, 56. This is snap counts per game, 56, 48, so around 50. Yeah, hovering around 50% of snaps. Their main two guys, Cooper Kupp and JSN. Um, is Cooper Kupp playing in the slot mostly? Let's look at receiving depth, snaps per position before I move on. He doesn't play in the slot, right? He's the fast guy. Well, he plays here and there in the slot, mostly out wide though, and mixes up left and right. Cooper Kupp, where does he line up? 350, so he plays more in the slot there, and then left and right are kind of equal there as well. So they'll mix him in with the slot. Might keep loading. Marcus Jones in the slot, top 20. Slot corner. Gonzalez, top 24 on the edge. I just want to see Marcus Jones snaps. Yeah, so Marcus Jones is almost exclusively their slot corner. It goes out wide very rarely, so he'll play in the slot most of the time. So it's whoever's in the slot, mostly Cooper Kupp, probably against Marcus Jones. And then JSN on the outside against Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis pretty good there as well. The score has Haloni at 10.5 rush at minus 105 if you're playing it straight. I don't have a score play, but yeah, you're getting a good 5 cents difference that's off market. Does anybody else have alt lines other than just not their over-unders, but like FanDuel had some alt lines, which I was curious about. And if I find something else to play it with, I might ladder them both. Okay. So receivers gonna have like a decent matchup. It's not like an easy cake in the park matchup here for the receivers. Um, Even their safeties are pretty good on the Patriots side. Craig Wilson, run defense, so they might bring him down. Robert Spillane, I think he was on the injury report there as well. Run defense, Spillane has, what is his tackles? Spillane first plays, well, the wrong team. This is Seattle. Oh, okay, I want New England. New England Patriots, because we're on to something else here. Landry Spillane, yeah, Spillane. Something, I guess he got injured last game, but he's almost always at 100% of snaps. Injured from week 14 to week 18. But he looks like he plays the middle linebacker. If Seattle chooses to run the ball, which they very well could, Spillane is probably the cleanup guy, right? He's the top 11 run defensive linebacker. Ellis here, he's not very good in run blocking there. So Spillane probably watches the running back. What's his tackles at? Team pressure, deep pressure, defensive props, tackles and assists. They don't have a Spillane. Oh, it keeps going. Another fucking. I'm not seeing it. Is it because he's injured? He's not on this list of tackles and assists. Um, yeah, but why? Was he really injured? New England line. There's their depth chart. Robert Spillane questionable. Linebacker. Let's take a look at his game log while we're here. Tackles and assists. Total got 6 against the Chargers. Again, he left early against Denver. He got 6 against Houston. No shot he doesn't play, yeah. There's some games here, I don't know why, but he has such a mix here. 2, this is, I guess, week 18. He probably doesn't play much. Goes 5 against Cincinnati, 9, 9, like 9, yeah, heavier running teams, right? Cleveland would have run the ball a lot. New England, I'm not too sure. He got 15 on Pittsburgh, 10 on Carolina. Could be a decent look when they release the line. I don't see a line here, but it gets me thinking, who do they have here as the highest guy then? Ellis, Christian Ellis? There might be room to play an under if they're rating Spillane out and they're okay. Let me because this is interesting. Christian Ellis. Let's find it. So this is the other linebacker that they're rating at 5.5, right? And who's this Craig Woodston? He's the strong safety at 5.5 as well. Christian Gonzalez, that was a corner. Jalen Hawkins. Gonzalez is the corner. Hawkins, who the hell is Hawkins? Oh, the free safety up there. Carlton Davis corner. Marcus Jones corner. Milton Williams. Oh, these are on the line. Tonga, Chris Tonga. Who is Tonga? Hmm. Something to keep an eye on for Spillane. That's probably why they don't want to put a line, but we might get it later on. Again, he's going to be playing 100% of the snaps if he's healthy, right? He almost always plays 100%. And then, okay, so let's look at the games where he wasn't healthy. So 0-0, who came in? Jack Gibbons. Jack Gibbons went from 50% of snaps to 100% to 100% to 59. Then they used it Tavai. And then when Spillane was back, Gibbons went back to the bench. So it looks like Jack Gibbons is probably the backup, but you're not going to find a line on Jack Gibbons, right? No. So keep an eye on it for it, I guess. Tackles and assists, but that might not be a bad look here. Spillane as the cleanup guy for the tackles. They're going to get past the front line, right? And it's going to be Spillane one-on-one with with Ken Walker here in this area. Maybe Woodson comes down, but he has to, they probably have to double JSN, right? So if you're the Patriots, you can leave Cup one-on-one in the slot, that's fine. But if you have JSN on the outside, you're probably going to double him, take a safety down, Cup one-on-one, Barner one-on-one. Then you have Shaheed versus Davis on the outside. 4 or 5. I'm looking at his speed. 4.53. What do they have? Shaheed's speed? No. Because one of their corners is, yeah, okay, Christian Gonzalez pretty fast. This corner there as well. Maybe able to keep up with him. Maybe they put Gonzalez on Shaheed, Davis, and help on JSN. Um, but yeah, that would leave Walker one-on-one. It would leave Barner kind of one-on-one. And that would leave Spillane open for tackles. I like the Spillane bet. As long as he plays. Anything else? Let's take a look at Sam Darnold, his numbers, because he's the worst rated runner in the league. How much running is he gonna do? I don't know. Sam Darnold. Okay, so first let's look at passing pressure here. So yeah, there's a big difference here between kept clean when Darnold is kept clean at 91% or 91 rating. When he's under pressure, most running he's doing is a kneel. He doesn't even get the sneaks. So yeah. Under pressure 51, so big drop off there. Same thing with under pressure versus kept clean. When he's blitzed, 81 dropped when blitzed. Not bad there as well. High interceptions. He has 14 interceptions. Oh, 14 interceptions this year, 29 touchdowns, 8.5 yards per attempt. His completion rate drops off. So the key here is obviously generating pressure. If you can generate pressure, you can drop him down to 50% completion rate. Yards per attempt drop. His interceptions go up. Um, that sort of stuff. His fumbling goes up, I guess. Um, it's really, can you generate pressure up the middle here, right? And can they? I mean, let's look at pass blocking, right? The offensive line in that middle is probably the worst on the line. Uh, Anthony Bradford generates pressure here, so Milton Williams has a good pass rush. Armore. This guy also has a pretty good pass rush. I'm wondering about sacks. I'm wondering sacks might be a play here. And then on obvious passing downs and stuff, yeah. I think these guys could generate enough pressure. I think with the right coverage, you could sort of negate some of the big playability, right? I want to say that the Patriots are probably the best off a defense that he's played. Where's the weekly grade? Offensive grade charts here. So against the Rams, he's only at 67.5. San Fran doesn't really have a secondary, 73.5. Can't really generate pressure either. San Fran again 60, 56 to Carolina. Rams again 63, Colts 64. So he's not playing lights out by any means. Atlanta, he had a good game. And then Minnesota got him down to 37.9. Rams got him down to 39. Even Tennessee only 60. He had some good couple of games in the beginning of the season, but since week 10, he's looked pretty average. Okay, if I just hover those ones there, 70, 68, 30, whatever. I wonder what his game logs is, but keep an eye on that week 10 onwards. Um, Not the best showing, I guess, in terms of the grades. Um, Passing depth, let's take a look at his depth chart here. Um, so high pass rate when he goes outside right. Um, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Likes the middle here. Likes the middle here, right? Then outside right, middle right, deep left, good rating. It's probably JSN there. Passing concept, play action. Well, they run play action quite a bit as well. 27% play action. Good numbers off of play action and 15 to 5, 69% completion rate, yards per attempt at 11. When he's not in play action, it drops a lot. So 69% offensive rate. This is where like Ken Walker comes in, right? If he's running pretty well, then you can run play action off of him. Completion rate, yeah, doesn't throw a lot. 8% screen rate. Yeah, okay. Anything else here? Passing constant, passing depth, rushing. What is it? How many times does he rush? Zero takedowns all year. Yards per attempt 2.7, 9 yards, 9 yards, 2 yards, 7 yards. And were those all scrambles? They had to have been. 15 scrambles. Design yards, design. Yeah, these are designed ones where he's just taking kneels. 1 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards. Yeah, he's not. What's his rushing line? Darnold rushing 3 yards, you would think? 3 or 5. Rushing props, rushing yards. 1.5, yeah. 3 was too high. Uh, Sam Darnold, what? Rushing yards over. I got 6.5. 6.5 rushing yards. Kind of seems high. Oh, okay. I thought you were predicting. I thought you saw it. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you thought it was 1.5, I thought it was going to be 3. 6.5 is kind of odd. Rushing, right? 0 carries in that last game. Against the Rams, he had 3 carries for 9 yards. But he had a 14-yard run. He came back a little bit. 2 carries against San Fran, 0-0. 1 carry for 20. Yeah, he just broke one off. Otherwise, 2, 1, -2. Yeah, I might take some Sam Darnold under. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna lose yards from kneeling. You get that upside as well. 6.5 seems high for a guy that doesn't run. What is he here? Russian props. Sam Darnold 5.5 on FanDuel, so you already get a yard difference on DraftKings. See if you can find a better line, but I might take some Sam Darnold under rushing yards. Rushing attempts. Sam Darnold 2.5 rushing. Yeah, see they have 2.5 rushing attempts, but they have 6.5 yards. That sounds wrong. Um, Curious. I don't want to clear all the bets that I have here, but what is Sam Darnold over rushing attempts but under rushing yards? It won't build it. I have to get rid of all my other things, but I'll keep that in there just to see. Maybe we'll hit 4 attempts for 5 yards or something and hit a nice middle. Okay. Let's wrap this thing up here. Okay, so Sam Darnold, Ken Walker's going to have some success running to the right. So is their backup running back. Passing wise, yeah, small advantage maybe Seattle. But New England's corners are pretty good. Their secondary is pretty good with their safeties as well. New England, if they're going to stop Darnold at all, it's going to be pressure up the middle. Maybe he takes a couple of sacks. We talked about Drake May taking sacks in their time to throw, so maybe looking at sacks numbers. I don't know if we're taking specific players, but maybe we'll take sacks in the game. Milton Williams sack, maybe. Something like that. Let me take a look while we're talking about it. I go here, I go quarterbacks. Oh, this is regular season though, so versus the Patriots. Oh no, it has a thing too. I don't want quarterbacks actually. I want DST. DST versus the Seahawks. I think FanDuel total sacks in the game 5.5. Yeah, 5.5 sounds right. Let's take a look here. 3 sacks against the Rams, 2 sacks against this is the Seahawks allowing. 3 against the Rams, 2 against Seahawks, or 2 against 49ers, 3 against the Panthers, 4 against the Rams. Colts, Falcons, they don't really have a defensive line. Vikings got 4. Titans, Rams, Cards, they don't really have anything. Commanders, maybe. Texans, 2. Yeah, they've been giving up a lot more sacks recently, right? So 7, 10, 14 sacks in the last 5 games. Whereas 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So in the last 5 games, they've given up as many sacks as they did in the first 15 games before that. So they're definitely giving up more pressure. And then if we go over to the New England Patriots. Oh, look at this. See? Oh, 5.5 might not be a bad line. Look at this. Like Patriots gave up 5 sacks to the Broncos, 5 sacks to the Texans, 5 sacks to the Chargers, 15 sacks in the last 3 games. Dolphins don't generate pressure. Jets don't generate pressure. Ravens got 4. Bills got 3. Giants got 3. Bengals don't generate pressure. Jets don't generate. Buccaneers don't. Falcons got 6. Browns got 6. Titans got 4. Bills got 4. I'm going to take some sacks. Patriots went through a gauntlet of defenses. Let me verify this. So you're saying like good defenses? Recently, yeah, okay, recently. Well, Chargers aren't really, yeah. But that's what I mean. Seahawks are just up there in terms of defense as well. It's not like the Seahawks are pushovers. So, if you're giving up 5 to these guys, I could see Seahawks getting at least 4 sacks, right? So I think I like sacks at 5.5. Um, you get the coverage from the corners. You get some pressure up the middle. You get some like coverage sacks as well. Where's the best line on sacks? And then I gotta get all my other stuff here. DST. It might be a good thing to just play all the players' sacks. Player alt sacks, tackles and assists. Players who record most sacks. I hate FanDuel with their stupid props here. Okay, so I'm gonna play some sacks. I'm gonna play whatever the best line is if I can get it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I gotta get my FanDuel DraftKings phones anyway. Just cleaning up the actual breakdown. Uh, can't find the 5.5. Yeah, I couldn't see it on FanDuel, but I'll look around. I think actually, what does DraftKings have? Just make sure I can find the line at all. Special teams props. Oh, defense sacks. This is per person though. Sacks half. Sacks over under. This is still player props though. Tackles, sack specials, most sacks. See Seahawks minus 220 get most sacks. Pick 6. Will there be a pick 6 plus 700? No. Game leader, game props, scoring props, octopus TD. I know like Bet365 will have it, but DraftKings doesn't have it either. Turnovers, red zone percentage. You can bet on red zone percentage. The fuck? Team totals, most TDs, yard. How do you not have sacks, but you have everything else? No, I have to go through the whole menu. Pro Bowl flag football. They didn't have that game. I thought that was already played here. Betting on flag football. All right, so we're gonna take sacks. We're gonna take some maybe Spillane, maybe some the backup running back. We're gonna take a lot of that stuff here. So yeah, I don't see like a huge edge for the Seahawks here. I think that New England defense could make it close. I tend to go contrarian, so I just gut tells me the Patriots in terms of covering the 4.5. In terms of a bet, I had done a teaser in the conference championship, and I left an open leg. Not a lot of books can let you do that, so I have a free teaser that I'm probably going to put New England in, get them to like plus 10.5. Because they're a decent teaser leg at 4.5, right? You can get to 7, 8, 10, all of those numbers there. Decent teaser leg, but then because you only have one game, then you're looking at maybe the under or the over. I kind of lean the under. I don't even know what the line is at 46. 45 and a half, I would guess. I'm just guessing. No idea. 45 and a half. Oh, I'm pretty good. Yeah. Uh, 45 and a half could be like a good turnover game, could be a couple of fumbles. Ken Walker as MVP, 650. Yeah, he might. Well, I guess he needs two touchdowns. I keep on saying takedowns. Ken Walker, two touchdowns plus 270. That's gross. If he gets two take touchdowns, he probably could be MVP though. Anybody else? I didn't see like a huge edge for anybody here specifically. Yeah, Sam Darnold might go throw like one touchdown. Let's look at some lines here. I don't know if passing props 230, 231. Oh, passing yards a little bit low. Passing TDs, two, both at two. Yeah, every year they're gonna get smoked with same game parlays. I bet you everybody playing same game parlays here is gonna play overs, and it's gonna be a sneaky under game. Everything gonna go under. So, um, passing TDs. Even Drake May, they have under 1.5 passing touchdowns at minus 155. They know something's up. Interceptions, yeah. Okay. I think that's it for now. I'm gonna look at some other lines and whatever. I'm gonna go through all these lines, see if I see anything that really sticks out. But those are the ones that, in terms of gut reaction based on our analysis here, I'm gonna look deeper into some of those plays. But I'm not looking to take like JSN under or overs or cup overs. Like, you think the Patriots are stupid enough to let them out, one on one? If anything, you might get like a good under. Doesn't Patriots normally, you know what they do? Let me see if actually while I have you. Wide receivers versus the Patriots. They used to always put their best corner on the secondary guy and then just double their best guy. So let's take a look here. Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton's probably the best Broncos receiver, but that Snow went 3 of 5. Um, Christian Kirk. Yeah, see, Christian Kirk went 2 of 6. He was probably their best receiver at that time, right? 2 of 6. Chargers, Lad McConkey goes 3 for 4, 32 yards. He's probably their best receiver, right? Dolphins, I don't know what the Dolphins were. There's no such thing as the best. Jets, you can't really compare either. Zay Flowers goes 7 of 7. Bills don't really have a receiver either. Khalil Shahir, 65. Wan'Dale Robinson, the best guy. Wan'Dale Robinson goes 7 of 8 for 34 yards against the Patriots. Even the Bengals here without, I guess Chase was out here, so T. Higgins here, the best receiver without T. Higgins, goes 5 of 6 for 31 yards. Um, Jets again don't really have anybody. Um, and Mecca, because Mecca went off. Even 6 of 13 though, only less than 50% catch rate for Mika. This is going back. Drake London, Browns. They haven't really fought or played too many huge high-level receivers. But historically, I remember the Bills always shutting down primary receivers because they tend to double them and then let their best corner go one-on-one with the other guy, sort of thing. So there's probably inherent value in JSN, just blindly betting JSN under, just because everybody's going to be taking JSN overs, JSN touchdowns, everything like that. So you're gonna have plus EV, just blindly betting it. You could wait until game time because what is he at 103 in a Super Bowl? Yeah. I'll probably end up maybe on the JSN or throw him into something because they're going to take away your best weapon. That's what the Patriots always do. They force you to beat you elsewhere. Where that elsewhere is could be Kenneth Walker. And then, oh yeah, second half. It's just too high. You just can't take it. Like anybody says, oh, I got a lock JSN over. Like, just think about it. Second half under 22 and a half. I would like that to be a little bit higher. I'm gonna see if I can find an alt 24 and a half. I doubt I can. Second half under 24 and a half, something like that. Just because 22 and a half is a bad number. Rather even have 23 and a half. But yeah, that's it. Won't go through much else. That was the analysis, I guess. I hope you like it. I'll post it to YouTube, post this for anybody that wants to see it. Post it for maybe for me because I'm gonna forget and stuff, but I'll come back to it. Don't really see any clear advantages on one side for one person to really take off and beat the unit, other than maybe Kenneth Gainwell, or sorry, Ken Walker. But again, he should have like short bursts. He should have a couple of maybe longer runs. We got to keep an eye on Spillane in terms of his tackles. But again, I don't see like a whopping on any side. I think that Patriots can keep it close. Um, it's all about the pressure, how they play. Like I like UFC because it really just comes down to this one-on-one matchups. In football, there's like 13 one-on-one matches, and it's like, okay, this guy's going to win his matchup, this guy's going to lose his matchup, they're going to lose, whatever, right? And it's over the span of, however many plays. It's a little bit harder to cap football because there's so much other shit going on. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the breakdowns. That's how I look at football. And we'll attack props. I'm not going to have much on the money line or the spread. If anything, it might be just a teaser on the Seahawks side. Might be an under second half unders. But yeah, I'll post everything here if I do end up making a play. But this was the official breakdown, boys. So again, Andrew, thanks for hanging out, buddy. And all the best. Best of luck next weekend on NFL. We'll get to use some UFC taping later on during the week. I didn't expect this one to go this long, but 2 hours on one game, guys. Crazy. All the best. Peace. We'll see you guys.